Hello, welcome back to the Midnight Chimera. I have an Alpha 14 build for you. 7 days to die, normal crafting time, settings shifted to be on heavily on the side of hard mode, whatever the hell that means. No PvP this time around, but tried to make it as interesting as possible versus the zombies. Zombies still getting very, very easy late game. We're actually in the process right now of modding the game to make it more realistic. We are going to be primarily one of the new users is quite adept at the coding, so he is going to be modding the game to make it more realistic all around. I've been working with him and working on higher realism for the weapons, for the zombies, for a lot of things. But for right now, let's talk about this build. And I should probably get some light. Started this build on an island. The idea was to build on an island and to make some small towers and interconnect them with sky bridges. Now, when I had the idea of a small tower in mind, I was thinking something slightly smaller than this. Let me make sure I'm not being attacked. Okay. Made myself. Okay. So I was thinking of something a little bit smaller than this, and I kind of got out of control as usual. So, I am bleeding out. That's fine. So if you're wondering why this section is scorched like the surface of the sun, those spotlights there put off a lot more light than they look like they do. Those are designed to emphasize the symbol of Rathanyar, who is a new deity that I created in-game. If you've watched any of the previous videos, you probably know about Otharu. So Rathanyar is the overlord for Otharu. I kind of one-upped him a little bit for this round. So yeah, very, very bright. One of our players over there has a nice 24-hour tanning booth. So they've torn up a lot around the base, as you can see. I've put in these are the symbols for Rathanyar, simplified symbols, I should say. There is the symbol for Otharu. And these defenses I have put in here are pretty effective as long as you keep them maintained, but they still have done a lot of damage around the exterior. So when I started this build, I was planning to... I can get you a better vantage point. Come on now. I was planning to just... well, I dug down, and this was... the top of the hill came up to just about, I guess, close to where I'm standing right now, and I dug down and made a foundation. Maybe not quite that far, but I dug down and made a foundation, and I was going to build, okay, so I'll make a little bit of tower, and then we can branch it off and make sky bridges and connect ourselves. Going to have kind of a minimalistic base. Game is heavily based on trade this time. Well, it didn't really work out. I started getting very interested in my build again, and I have more to show you than what you can see, so come on inside. The inside was built to be very different from my previous builds. It is very open. Very, very open on the inside. That's supposed to be a kind of a celestial, mystical shrine of some sort, or a calibration device, so you can see the heavens passing through above. All open spaces, so very, very different. I usually make a lot of rooms, more practical types of structures, so this one I did a completely different build. And I also went with steel or iron instead of other building materials. These cubes remind me a lot of the old Doom. Just the way they look, the way they feel, that cold, foreboding kind of feel about them. So first story here. If I go up on this ladder, and these ladders can be a little tricky at times, especially if you're jumping from one to another. Forge area. I'll put my gun away. This is what I mean. Sometimes you can miss those. I've had a lot of broken legs, not gonna lie. Okay, so some gun safes up here, mainly for the best munitions. I was ideally the arms dealer and munitions crafter in this game, although some of the people that were my trading partners kind of stopped playing as much, so it didn't work out as I had planned. More extensive crafting area up here. This is an extension off of the main tower, as you can see right here. This is symbol for Athanyar inside, the most elaborate symbol, made with glass and emphasized by the lights that were placed here. So I really like the roof of this place. The roof of the spire. No safety nets here. We don't want to fall down. So the feeling I was going for this, obviously much more foreboding, cultish, brooding, not necessarily medieval, but rugged and cold. I think I accomplished that. All right, so sounds like we have company somewhere. That's okay. Over on this side, figures. I won't get a horde for days, but as soon as I want to record something, they'll be all over the place. There's a little trade depot on this side. Each one of these chests is for another player, for which we would trade through. And there's also an area up here. This started glitching. I couldn't build a roof on here. Every time I started to make things, they would just fall apart. Makes no sense at all. Considering how tall that tower is, there should be no problems here, but I think that it has to do with something I'm about to show you. And that made, when I did see this happen, because I was there when it happened, it made me very nervous for my spire, my big tower. So over here, one of the other players built a tower. Doesn't it look wonderful? Can't you see it? Oh, it's down there. That's what's left of it. That's the rubble. So there was a tower. This sky bridge here went out to right around there, and the tower went up a good distance. And the one day we were fighting a horde, and we were both on his tower, and the whole thing just started to collapse from the top down, and it went all the way down. And fairly recently, one of my sections of the bridge even collapsed down, and it's not. There's a glitch, so you can't really, you can't repair it properly. It just falls apart, just like what's happening with the roof over here. And if you see this down here, this item, this is a non-craftable item. I did make that through the admin menu, but if you're wondering, that's only used for non-craftable items. Everything else we do at normal crafting time. There's no cheating, there's no cutting corners or anything. So this did take quite a lot of material acquisition. The sky changed pretty dramatically. I guess I'll go down this way. It sounds pretty hostile down there, but let's give it a try. Huh? Alright, I want to show you. Sounds awful. There they are. Don't mind the neighbors. So, I put these symbols up for Rathinar around the area to make it look more menacing. Will be... Let me just do one of these. So hopefully we can do this without incident. Inside. Get inside. Great. Okay. So this is the crypt. Welcome to the crypt. Very appropriate that we've now barricaded ourselves inside here, preparing to die. Okay. So this, I made this as well. There's a ladder over here you can climb up and tend the coffins as necessary, as they require a lot of maintenance. You might imagine. A lot of moving parts, especially these days. So, alright, let's give this a try. Ooh, okay, well, I'm just gonna really show. Oh, God, that's not good. That's not good. Okay. Alright. 1 second. That was not anticipated. I mean, it's always anticipated, but no big deal. I just wanted to show you the graveyard, and now I'm resting in it. Oh dear, where did I spawn? Such a strange place. That wasn't on the tour. You'll see that in just a moment. And now it's daytime. Ooh. So, let's... Okay, come on. So here's the here's the graveyard. Speaking of, Ooh. All right. So here's the graveyard outside of the crypt. And you can see there's been some burrowing underneath the graves. Yeah. Oh, come on! Can't you see I'm trying to record a video? Apparently not. Alright. Graveyard. Enough said. Moving on. Bleeding out. Okay, well, actually, maybe it's better you can see it during the day out here, too. For contrast. Did I just eat that? That was a little weird. I thought that maybe I could give myself a transfusion because I don't use the medical stuff very often, and apparently I just ate the blood or drank it. Delicious. Well, I'm feeling better at least. Okay, so just the outside during the day. I'll give you a quick wrap around. And those are other areas. This is another player's work. I will give tours of them as well in other videos. For now, I'm just going to focus on my work, though. If this looks like a jumbled mess over here, I realize that it would have looked a lot better if it actually connected to that tower. I'll actually go down and show you the leftovers here. Real mess. You can't build anything. It just glitches automatically now. So, give you a few different views. Let's close the door on this. Oh, God! Perfect. 1 health. I'm set to go. Alright, enough of this. To the temple. This is the real work. My pride is in the temple. Get away from this madness. Down we go. So this is the foundation. This is where I dug out originally to build the tower. But I dug down a little bit deeper. A little bit deeper. Get down the ladder. Get down the ladder! Close the door. No, not there. There. Secret project I've worked on for quite some time. Down there. And I am going to split that into another video because it's better in the dark. And for some reason, light travels all the way down to bedrock in this game.